Oh, is this working? Okay. If anyone sees this, things are getting really bad. I've been stranded about 8 million years in the past, and I'm just in this deserted desert wasteland. I managed to find some sort of ancient temple structure that I holed up in for 100 days, but now, I don't know. I'm going to sleep and try to figure something out tomorrow. Oracle? Is that you? Where are we?
You are still in the desert. You're sleeping. But for some reason, I can see you again.
I shouldn't be able to see you. I thought this world was a blind spot for you now.
It was, but something changed. The timelines are diverging.
Timelines? What? What are you talking about?
There are 2 different paths now, but that isn't your main concern. Right now, the zombie horde has completely consumed the entire world. James, you need to get underground.
Look, when the Oracle says you need to get underground in a dream, you get underground. So I dug a hole and I jumped in it. Look, it was getting way too hot up there anyway. First thing I did was I made a cobble hammer out of the cobblestone that I was able to punch with my fist. That speeds it along a lot. I need to open up a little bit of space so I can actually get started. By using that hammer, I could actually hammer cobblestone into dirt, and then by using a crook on dirt, I'm actually getting saplings, so there might be some life down here underground anyway. Also, with all the cobblestone that I made, I was able to make a cobblestone chest and a cobblestone crafting table. Nice. Oh yeah, life indeed. It didn't take very long to actually make my first oak tree, and now I have access to wood underground. I'm not going to have to go back up basically ever. Hey, I got an oak tree, I got apples. What else do you need? All right, I know one thing you need. You need wool for a bed, and to make a bed, I put a silkworm into the tree, let it infest the tree, and then broke it, and I got a bunch of string. Of course, string can make wool, so hooray. Well, I got saplings from dirt. I wonder if I get ores from gravel, and yes, indeed. So, cobblestone to gravel, gravel to ores. All right, nice. Made a little crucible, and I could turn leaves into water, and now, thanks to some of the iron I got from gravel, I have an infinite water source. Awesome. This is really all I need to really get going here. Now, with water, life, food, ores, man, I mean, come on, I can live down here. You know, you can sieve other things, though, other than just gravel. I'm able to sieve dust, and with dust, you get all kinds of fun stuff, especially bone meal and redstone, and other things, but those are the 2 things that are key for me. With that bone meal, I made a crucible. You fire the crucible, and then you can actually make lava, just using a torch under. It's very slow. It is very slow. It's painful, but hey, it works. I'm able to make lava now. It took a long time, but finally the crucible worked through all the cobblestone I put in it, and I now have lava. Luckily, with this bucket, okay, things are good. Hey, who knows? I might be able to even get power sometime soon here. Yeah, but before I even really think about power, I need to make a cobblestone generator so I don't have to hand get every single cobblestone ever in my life. I'd like to have one generate. So I smelted 1 sand, and I'm able to, with a bucket of lava and bucket of water, make a cobblestone generator. Nice. I've been really hammering an absolute ton of cobblestone to make gravel just for ores. So I figured out you can make a compressed hammer. And with the compressed hammer, I can actually do this 9 times faster. And that is pretty awesome. You get an absolute crap ton of gravel this way. Nice. Awesome. You know, it's a funny thing how life turns out. I remember there were a lot of days Fred, whenever we were living together in the Arctic wasteland, would talk about eating cooked apples every day. And look at me. Here I am in my own bunker eating cooked apples. Eating my apples is nice, but you know what's even nicer is automated lava. So I got enough iron to make a hopper, and now I don't have to worry about my crucible running out of cobble anytime soon. The next big thing, and probably the first real machine I'm going to make, is a smeltery. It takes a lot of stuff. You got to make grout, and for that you need clay and gravel. Nothing's too hard to get. It's just all kind of time consuming. But once I get the smeltery set up, I can get doubled ores, and that is what I'm talking about. Okay, with a little bit of my lava from my crucible, I made a room and I put my smeltery in there. I now officially have ore doubling. So every single chunk I get from sieving becomes 2 ingots. That is wonderful. I only got a tiny bit of gold so far. You only get that from sieving sand, and that's just not really something I've sieved very much of, but I'm using a little bit of my valuable gold to make a cast. Now, using that cast, I can make an ingot cast, and then every time I double my ores, I can just smelt it right in there. Nice. Oh, baby, not very long later, I am rich in iron. In fact, so rich that I actually am doing blocks because I'm getting so much, and it takes quite a bit to do 9 ingots each individually. So yeah, I have a ton of iron. Things are really looking good. Now, I want to get even more iron, but to do that, I want to upgrade my string mesh into flint mesh. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm still using regular sieves. I need to switch to a compressed sieve, so I made one of those, and now I have 9 sieving things all at the same time. It's pretty sweet. And yeah, remember that redstone I talked about? Well, with a little bit of that redstone, I was able to make a timer. And that timer just sends out a redstone signal as long or as quickly as you want it to. So it can actually do this automatically. So then anytime I put a chunk into the smeltery, I just turn on the timer and it's going to turn on the faucet, and that is going to give me ores. I put in a hopper underneath to pull it out. So yeah, automatic, completely automated ore doubling. And among other things that I'm bored of doing is growing oak trees. So I made a couple bonsai pots and put them on a chest. This is not my end game situation here, but for right now, this should give me a constant supply of oak and apples. Things are about to improve quite a bit for me because from sieving all the gravel, I actually got 6 diamonds, and with that, I can make 1 diamond mesh. And since I'm using my heavy sieve, oh baby, diamond sieving gives you so much more rewards. I do just want to do a little bit of a test. So I made 64 compressed gravel, and I'm going to put all of it through and just see how much I get for it. Oh, I hope it's good. And it was good. My ore chest is completely full. In fact, full enough that I made a bunch of iron chests and stuff. I am really doing well. The next thing, though, I want to do is I don't want to have to redo things. If I'm going to be living down here in this bunker for a little while the Oracle figures out what's going on, well, I need a plan. So I made 4 different wings, and I want to look at the power wing because that's what I want to focus on next. Yeah, I was making clay and walking the whole way around my room. I gotta work smarter, not harder. This is way faster. So all clay requires is a dust, which you get from hammering dirt or sand into dust, and then you just put some water and you get clay. Awesome. Now, I don't know how much cobblestone I'm going to need in this bunker until the Oracle can get me out of here, but for now, these storage drawers were completely full. They do 32 stacks each, so I put some upgrades so that they will hold a ton more just in case I need it for building or whatever. My first instinct for power, though, is I think I want to do charcoal power. So, given how easy clay is to come by in a bonsai tree, I can just put down some chests, put bonsai hoppers on top, and then get a whole bunch of logs. I can smelt those logs into charcoal, and then with the charcoal, hopefully make some power. I hope. Upgrade all these to iron chests just because a regular chest won't sit next to each other. Probably a waste of iron, to be honest, but eventually, once I get power, iron will be free. Plant a whole bunch of oak trees, all oak. That way I get a bunch of apples to eat as well, so I won't starve, and I should be hopefully swimming in logs/charcoal soon. I found a way to slip into another dimension. It's the end dimension, and that's what I really need. I need end stone really bad because I'm hoping that I can grind end stone and maybe get ender pearls. Ender pearls are what's holding me up. There are no enemies, no mobs down in this hole that I'm in yet. So in lieu of fighting an enderman, I'm hoping I can just go there and get end stone to grind. Yeah, it took a long time to get here, but once I finally did, then I just collected a whole bunch of end stone. And again, with that, what I can do is I hammer the end stone into, I think it's called ender gravel, and with the ender gravel, then you can put it through a sieve and get a whole bunch of different things, ender lilies, and other stuff that I don't recall at this moment. But the really big thing I wanted to get, and I did compress this, so I'm doing 9 at a time, is draconian dust, because I want to make a grinder. I'm hoping that if I make a grinder, I should be able to actually get endermen and kill them without dying myself. Well, what I really need for a good, effective mob farm, though, is I need a drop of evil. And the only way to get a drop of evil is from wither skeletons. And the only way to get wither skeletons, since there's no way into the nether here, is I need to use witch water, which I just made, and put a skeleton into it. Hopefully I can figure that out somehow. My initial plan is to just use a, not a dropper, but the other one, the one that puts a bucket out, and just have it on a timer, so every once in a while it'll drop witch water out and then not, and keep the room dark, and hopefully a skeleton will just randomly spawn and then get pushed by the witch water down, and then I can kill it and hopefully get a drop of evil. And yeah, it didn't take long at all. On literally my first kill, the very first wither skeleton that I killed, I got a drop evil. So now things are going to get a lot better. I did make my grinder, so I'm all ready to go, except for power, I guess. You know, look, if things go well and according to plan, this may be the only mob farm I will ever have to make, no matter how long the Oracle leaves me in this bunker. I mean, this is kind of endgame level mob farm as soon as I put this drop of evil down. What the drop of evil does, as soon as I put it down here, is it's going to convert all this dirt into cursed earth, and that makes mobs spawn like absolute crazy. So I just have a coal generator there that's powering up the grinder, and hopefully I'm going to get a bunch of ender pearls so I can make a collector. Because right now, every time it kills something, it just leaves their loot laying on the ground. The really cool thing about this is, though, is it spawns regardless of if you're really close to it or whatever, as long as it's not lit up. So you can see there is an absolute crap ton of mobs spawning, crap ton of stuff on the ground. I'm just looking for an ender pearl. Oh, and finally I made one. I got an item collector. I made that. That only takes one ender pearl to make. Now I'm getting a lot of junk, so I'm going to have to filter this out so I don't have all the junk filling up my whole inventory. I only want to keep the good stuff. And yeah, there's some weird stuff that's going on, because even though I have lights, that guy just appeared. And I'm pretty sure he somehow got through the wall, and I don't know how. So that's really weird. I need quartz, so I'm going to use my witch water, which was kind of hard to get. I sieved a lot of dirt to get the ancient spores, and I'm going to use it to make one soul sand. All you got to do is put regular sand into witch water, and you get soul sand. However, it consumes, unfortunately, your witch water. And yeah, I got my one quartz, but unfortunately, I misread the recipe. I need more. But hey, I figured something out. You know what? I have power now, even though it's just a coal generator, so I can make an atomic reconstructor, and that will zap sand into soul sand. I had to make something else called a crusher, and yeah, it's kind of weird. I have to move my machines to my generator just constantly and just keep on throwing coal. This is not a great system. I need to improve this at some point. But here's the big thing I wanted. I wanted to be able to make an alloy smelter, make electrical steel, which just requires silicon, crushed, pulverized coal, and iron. Not too expensive, and now I can actually make something called a Yeti wrench, and now I can get a quartz from soul sand. Well, the reason why I wanted that quartz was to make a drawer controller. That way I can just put up a whole bunch of storage drawers here, and it's going to take all the items from the mob farm and just stick them in drawers. That way they're easily expandable, and it's an easy way to see what I need to filter out and throw in a trash can. This is great. I really feel like I've made a lot of progress here so far. A lot of lava going on here. So with that lava, I'm able to actually make netherrack. I don't need a lot. I just need 4 netherrack bricks to make the next machine that I really need to progress. And yeah, with this very first machine that I made, I have a double furnace and a generator that is going to be knocking out all of the oak that I'm getting from my bonsai trees and making charcoal. Then I can filter it from the furnace right back into the furnace to power it up in the generator. And I have now completely fully renewable power. Awesome. Yeah, awesome. Oh, baby. I was trying to figure out how to get paper other than just making a huge sugarcane farm, and I found something called a paper bark sapling, and it grows in bonsai pots. Oh, baby. It's like free paper. I don't have to do anything. And I made energy cells. I was able to make 2, which is really all I need. And this is going to be the absolute key to this entire bunker that I'm making underground here. All you have to do is make a couple energy cells, use these cards to link them together, and they share power throughout your entire base. This is great. I never have to run cables for miles and miles and miles. I actually made 3. I have one now over at the grinder, one at the sort of machine area, and then, of course, the main one that's accepting power from the generator. So I now have 3, and they all share power. So it's also not only am I transporting power, but it's also a battery. This is an unbelievable machine. It really changes everything. Now, from sieving dirt, I was able to get rice seeds, and after I grew this up with all the bone meal that I'm living on now, thanks to my mob farm, I was able to make rice balls. Rice balls are basically the same as slime balls, which means you can make a sticky piston. Oh man, and I know where I'm going next with the sticky piston now. We're getting towards applied energistics and computers. Now, I throw charged quartz, redstone, and nether quartz, which I have tons of thanks to my atomic reconstructor, into water, and I get fluix crystals. This stuff is like the last major craft I need before I can make an inscriber. The digital storage, oh, it's so close. I do need to plan ahead a little bit, though, because once you get in the computer age, power starts to become, well, a little bit more important, because you put all your items into digital storage. If you run out of power, well, you are in big, big trouble. So I made another generator just to make sure I stay on top of it for now. And yeah, everything came to a screeching halt. I had to make these seeds, and they take forever to grow. I did put one growth accelerator down there, but it's not even doing anything. This is bad. So I spent a lot of my resources, my very precious and hard-earned resources, to make a crystal growth accelerator, and what you can do is put seeds right in there. However, unfortunately, it's not getting power. It's not doing anything. A little bit of messing around later, I figured out that I need a power acceptor, and once I did that, this really, really works. Now, I'm chewing through my power, but I don't need to use this all the time. It's so much faster, and I don't even have speed accelerator cards yet. Oh, I made a crafting terminal. Things are really, really, really looking good. I don't know how to make it face me, but yeah, things are looking really good. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, and there it is. Check it out. A crafting terminal. Oh, man. Now, I don't have any space, so I can't actually put anything in yet. I need discs. So I made one. I made one 4K disc, and let me just tell you, it filled up basically instantly. It was so full so fast. I need a lot more, and yet making these manually, it takes a long time. I've got to start automating stuff really fast. I mean, my goodness, seriously, I've been smelting so much of these ore that I'm getting from all the sieving. I need a whole 4K disc just for the ingots, which is a good problem. It's good to have too many materials, but yeah, it's pretty bad. You know, look, I've been on the grind for technology for a really long time now. I would really like to spend some time decorating just so it doesn't look like I'm living in just, well, the hole in the earth that it actually is. Yeah, doubling ores in my smeltery is cool and all, but now I have power, so I made a crusher and a double furnace, so I can just throw a whole bunch of ore parts up in the top, and then they just get automatically kicked into my chest. Because, you know, here's the big reason why. My lava production was really, really slow, so I had to constantly wait for it to fill up my smeltery again. So I made something called a superheating element. This thing heats lava and creates lava 60 times faster than a torch. It's really, really nuts. So I need to start using lava for something. First, though, I made an igneous extruder to actually make obsidian. Now, this thing's really, really good, but it requires water. So with a liquid transfer pipe, I'm able to pipe the water right up from the source block down below it, right into the igneous extruder, and then lava right from the crucible into it. Powering it with another energy cell, things should work. No, I got it working finally. So now free obsidian forever for basically just a little bit of power. Nice, awesome. I also want ender chests. Since I can move power around wirelessly with the energy cells, I want to be able to move my items around using ender chests. And to do that, I need blaze rods. So I made a compactor to compact all the blaze powder I'm getting from sieving into blaze rods. And then continuing my automation, I made an auto hammer and auto sieve. Gravel's my main thing that I'm sieving right now. I'd like to sieve more different things, and that's going to be the plan coming soon. But for right now, gravel's my big one because that's giving me most of the ores that I need outside of basically gold. Oh, and take a look at this beauty thing here. I made 3 different automatic sieves. Not dirt. Who cares about sieving dirt? But I'm sieving gravel and sand and dust all the time. Dust is giving me things like redstone, bone meal, Certus quartz. Sand is giving me gold and other things. And then, of course, gravel is giving me most of my base ores. I never touch any of these. They're getting auto-imported thanks to an all-white ender chest, and we are in business. Except for, oh yeah, I'm out of power. Oh. So I think it's already time to move away from the age of coal and move into the age of lava power. This should be really, really easy. I made 4 magmatic dynamos, and since I have superheating elements for lava, I should never run out. Using a few upgrades and the harden, I actually get 480 RF per tick per dynamo. That's like 2000 RF. Nice. Now, I've been really hard on the grind. There's a whole bunch of different directions that I could go right now, but honestly, I just need some time to kind of think about this. I don't want to rework the system later, so I want to build a basement now so that I can put all my pipes and stuff below where I'm actually living. So knowing where my power wing is going to be, I want to dig down below it where that way I can put all the power stuff in the wing and then pipe all the stuff that I need over to the other wings, like the processing wing and the living wing and all that kind of stuff. So let's make this look a little bit nicer, but yeah, maybe we'll put an elevator in here later on. Yeah, I've been using that party pick since I got here, basically, and it is out now. So I need something better. It broke. So I need to make something else. I'm thinking I'm going to make a drill. The drill is rechargeable, and it's upgradable. So I can make it a 3x3 or even a 5x5 drill pretty easily. Nice. It does have to be charged in this Energizer, which is just pulling power right out of my energy cell. No big deal. I tell you, I have dug so many rooms out just using a single block pick. To now have 3x3 ability is an absolute game changer. And I can even just do 1 block just by shifting. Really, really, really nice. Awesome. I'm loving how this is going to make everything so much faster to add rooms and add hallways and all that kind of stuff. And boom, a very short time later with my new drill, I have the biggest room I've added on so far. And I'm going to make it look kind of nice with chisel. It's still, I'm just chiseling cobblestone. I'm not making the greatest thing that's ever been, but it looks better than just regular old stone, I think. Again, since I ran out of power that one time and it caused me a huge headache, I want to stay ahead of it. So I added 4 more magnetic dynamos, all hardened. So we are now up to 4,000 RF per tick as long as the lava keeps up. But I'm starting to actually branch out. I'm going to have an auto crafting room, and I might have it kind of soon. So I want to put my controller actually in the auto crafting room. That's where most of my connections are. Then I can have a terminal set up basically anywhere I want. So I'm going to put another newly made energy cell up there and link it, and then I will just put the controller on top. The good thing about controllers is you can make more than one. So I'm going to make a pretty big controller here, so I have a lot of faces to link out different channels. I made 2 molecular assemblers, connect it to my controller, and I should be all good. I don't really know how this works, though. I think you have to have interfaces that go into the molecular assembler and then use patterns, I think. I'm not really sure. I've actually been working on this for quite some time, so I had to make a crafter. So I just made some 1K crafters that I think sort of tell the computer how to make things, but yeah, it's still not working. So I still have something wrong. I just can't figure it out. Oh my goodness, I just figured they're not powered. So they have to get regular power from the cable and then the interface actually supplies the patterns. As soon as I did that, they start glowing, everything's online, it's going to work. And yeah, I have 2 autocrafters. It took me about, I don't know, maybe a minute to fill them up with their 18 patterns. You get 9 patterns each. This room's not nearly big enough. I need to make this room a lot bigger. I'm making all my rooms the same size. Just it's what you can reach from standing. That just makes it a little bit easier to sort of make it all look kind of the same, like the same dude built it, which is me. I'm the dude. I'm the same dude who built it. Me. So I got to automate this inscriber situation. So I made 4. One's for silicon, one's for gold, one's for Certus quartz, and one is for diamond. And I'm going to have them all routed all individually. And then a 5th one that actually combines them all together. Whoa, but hold everything. I didn't have a section lit up. And look, it's a zombie villager. Oh, I'm not going to kill him. We're going to do something with him. Yeah, let me light up everything, though, to make sure I'm safe first. So I named my guy Bob in honor of our friend Fred, and I turned around and there were creepers right behind me. Luckily, I was able to get the ladder before, but I got to make sure everything's lit up down here. I'm in an underground world, so any area where mobs could possibly break in and spawn, that is exactly where they will. Everything has to be lit up perfectly. I made this little holding room, prison, I don't know, area for Bob. Bob's going to live right there until I can figure out a way to cure him. I'm gonna bring him back. We're gonna save Bob, right? Yeah, we are. We're gonna save him. So So I learned about something new. It's called an upper. It's basically a hopper, but it goes up. So this is not end game automation, but for right now, I can put a whole bunch of these in and not have to worry about it till it's done. Oh, I was able to make 6 more 4K discs and completely fill up one drive. Now this should hold basically everything I have so far. Hopefully we'll be able to make more and autocraft some stuff fairly soon. Now, these inscribers are such a pain to use usually, so I have a plan where I'm going to use an ender chest, one that is blue-white to actually get all of the items, and then use just transfer nodes and stuff with filters to put the items I'm putting in the chest into the right place. It should work. Thankfully, I'm getting a bunch of ender pearls from my mob farm so that I can actually make conduits, which can transfer items. Really nice. Didn't take too long, and everything's all set up to autocraft, I think. But with all that being said and all that automation done, I think it's time for another base expansion. I want to kind of go this way. I dug around the mob farm just so it looks a little bit nicer and so it's not so claustrophobic. I also think maybe at some point I might get some glass where it lets you see the mobs that are spawning. I don't know how to make that yet, but it might be a cool idea. Now, this wing I'm in right now is called the Organic Quad, which is going to be obviously mobs, but then also some greenery, some maybe regular food farms, some mobs, all that kind of stuff. Now, remember, not too long ago, I said, who needs to sieve dirt? Well, I do, because I need actually grass seeds, and also various plant seeds. So, yeah, I'm sieving a bunch of compressed dirt. It shouldn't take too long. I should be able to get all the seeds you can get from this method. Yeah, I actually also need just regular seeds and a lot of them to get a wheat farm started, and also it wouldn't hurt to have some dyes, so some red and yellow dyes are going to free up some more possibilities for making various ender chests, so yeah, let's get it all. I made a 64 block long underground farm, and this is going to be very manual, but for right now, I just need a lot of like wheat, flax, hemp, carrots, potatoes, just all the stuff, and I just need a lot of it. So I figured this is just gonna be the easier way to go. Now, eventually, I will automate this all using machines and probably do away with this, but for right now, it's gonna be pretty nice to have access to a lot of different foods. I am just constantly out of nether quartz, so I have a plan to be able to make that. Now, mycelium, if you put a barrel of water on top of mycelium, it will actually convert automatically and free into witch water, which is a lot better than going through ancient spore route. So I planted some, I'm just going to let it spread, I hope. So all I got to do is use this liquid transfer node to put water into the barrels, and then that should automatically convert over time to witch water. Then I could either pipe out the witch water, or I could pipe in sand from maybe a auto hammer or something like that. And then I should have basically a limitless supply of soul sand, and then thus quartz once I sieve it. Okay, a little bit messing around later. I think I got it all figured out. So I got a auto hammer that's making sand, putting into a barrel for overflow, and then that's getting put into these. And then there's other item transfer conduits that are taking it out and putting it into a special purple white chest. That purple white chest will then go on top of the sieve, and that should make free nether quartz, I think. Now, the next thing I need to go is I need to start automating some actual machines, because say I want to make a whole bunch of crushed nether quartz. So I put a crusher down here with an interface in the back connected to my ME system, and anytime I want, I can just request it. The system will automatically send the quartz into the crusher, and I will get crushed nether quartz. The next thing I need is another manual farm, though, because a lot of recipes require green dye. So I got some cactus from sieving all that dirt, I think, and I can put down sand, and I'm going to just grow some regular cactus. Now, I have an idea to automate this, maybe now even. Yeah, I think I could use a farmer from what's actually additions, and then just power it with an energy cell, then use a ender chest to just import it right in. I think that'll just farm the cactus right up. Nice. I moved my cobblestone production here because I want to have a couple different methods to make other materials. Like, for example, if you put redstone into a barrel, then you'll automatically get netherrack. I want to automate that. And there's a few other things, like you can make end stone by putting glow dust into lava too, and some other stuff. So I want to have all that automated. So I'm using a chest to automatically do that just with some conduits. The other thing you can make is something that I need to actually make more drives and things like that, and that's skystone. So you get skystone dust from sieving, and then to make it, you actually have to put it in lava. So I set up my lava production set to do that, and it does look like I'm actually getting it completely automated with all these machines. Nice. It's not very fast. It's actually really slow. It's actually really, really slow, but I don't think I'm going to need much. This is basically just for controllers in the drive, and after you make those, you don't really need more. So hopefully I can just make a bunch right now and then not have to worry about it. However, my wiring is a just giant mess right now. Look at how everything is terrible. I need smart cables because they can put out 32 channels. I don't have enough for dense smart cables right now, so I need maybe more controllers that might actually make a lot more sense. I'm just really running out of room. Hey, check out. Hey, Poppy. How'd you get in here? Well, welcome to my bunker, my best friend forever. So I have a few big things auto-crafting, and while that's going on, I wouldn't mind working on this floor, making it look pretty nice. These factory blocks are just so nice. I mean, this looks awesome. I love it. From my mob farm, I have an absolute crap ton of clay loot crates, which this is actually my primary source of clay. So I made this auto opener thing to do it and just auto import right into my system, and it's really awesome. I mean, I just got like a bunch of stacks of clay for free, basically. Oh, baby, but this is the time that things really change because I got 32 channel dense smart cables made and actually set to autocraft too. I can now actually really start to dig into storage. So my plan is going to be, I'm going to have ender chests right here. That way I can move things around. Like if I need soul sand in a certain place, then I can just make a purple, white soul sand ender chest and it'll automatically be full because that's what it's being imported into. But I can also add a storage bus on the back of it and have access to it within my ME system as well. It's kind of a double whammy system. I really like it. And oh yeah, the Skystone recipe did work because I was able to make 2 more drives and 4 more 4K discs. I always make 4K disc. I don't see any reason necessarily to go into the 64K. Really, I could just make whole banks of autocrafted 4Ks and I don't know. Why not? It's a little faster to autocraft. So I'm out of one very specific thing, Grains of Infinity, which you really need for any Ender IO machine. So I made a second dust sieve, which means I had to make like 3 auto hammers, another cobblestone generator just to get down to dust so I can sieve it. But hopefully we'll get a lot more Grains of Infinity now and we can move on. Oh, but you know, the thing that really is a drag about doing all the machines is finding where the mistakes actually happen. Somehow I am having a hold up here where I'm putting in the stuff for my circuits, my circuit presses and stuff, and I'm not getting them back. I'm not sure exactly why. I may need to figure out a better system to do this. I don't know. I thought this would be perfect, but it's not really working. Oh, never mind. I found out the problem. I was totally out of power. So another 4K or another 4 dynamos, which means it's bringing me up to, unfortunately, a little bit more power than I can actually handle because I have all these upgraded to 500 each, essentially. So that means 5 times, 16? Yeah, I think that's more power than my base level flux duct conduits can actually handle. I'm not sure what to do now. Yeah, as I suspected, that wasn't enough. So I made the second version of these power conduits, and yeah, it's working perfectly. These power conduits will do 5K per tick. The other ones did like maybe like 600 or something. It's a big difference. So by changing that out, now I don't need to use the enhanced version on all my machines, but I just need to use it where all the power is going into the energy cell. And not shocking to anybody probably, but now I'm out of lava. So now I'm making a lot more power, but I'm out of lava. So I made a couple ender tanks. They run the exact same as ender chests, and I'm going to make 2 superheating element crucibles and get the lava to go right into my all white ender tank, and then use an ender tank on top rather than have to make a new lava generator for each single power tower I have to make as I further expand. I think it's probably the best way to go, and it's a module, so I can just keep on adding more and more until I don't run out of lava anymore. Yeah, see, this is exactly what I'm thinking. Just put a tank up there, get a couple fluid conduits that come out. Now, these are still the baseline fluid conduits, so I can make the better ones, but for right now, this should work, and I'll only put 8 dynamos per, which I think is going to be a lot better. I did go ahead and change out the fluid conduit because that was a hang-up. These are maximum. These are instantly liquid transferring conduits, and they go out actually as fast as like 1 tick instantly. So I made 3 power towers, which means I have a total of 860. I have 24. I have 24 dynamos running at full power all the time, all upgraded to the hardened level. But guess what? I have another holdup. It's my quartz production, because I'm using quartz for one thing now, and I'm going to use it for another thing later. That I'm going to get a ton for it. So right now I'm using it for basically 4K discs, like redstone components, all that kind of stuff. I need a lot better and a lot faster soul sand so that I can get more quartz. The sieve is basically empty all the time, so I need to make soul sand faster so I can progress. One of the things that will help this is actually if I could have faster water pickup. I think the water is actually going a little slow. So I dug up this little area right here and I got some water mills. And these water mills make something called grid power, which is a whole different kind of power. But by using grid power, I can actually make speed upgrades from the water transport nodes and get as much water as I could possibly handle if you just stack a few speed upgrades on top of each other. Yeah, and check it out. Just with a little bit of grid power, I was actually able to make this. I think it's called resonant stone. It doesn't. It's the kind of stone that you need to make other things like water mills that I don't have to do it by hand. Oh, yeah. I went from 3 barrels to 8 barrels, and it is a lot better. The water's staying full all the time. All these conduits are moving very fast. They're all the highest level. Yeah, things are going really well. I'm getting a constant supply of single soul sands. It'd be nice if I was getting more, but for right now, I'm happy with single soul sands. I made this resonant machine. I think that's going to be basically all the machines I need for a little while. I have a sag mill, alloy smelter, pulverizer. I mean, should be good. I don't know, I'll probably think of more, but for right now, I think I can make just about everything I need. I have 6 auto crafters all set up, 3 different crafting things, which sort of tell the computer how to make the items. Yeah, I mean, we're in a good place. Yeah, so I found all these storage drawers, and I just decided to go ahead and sort of combine them for right now because I just have stuff everywhere, and I'd really like to sort of get my storage into this room. This is going to be my storage room forever. I don't think it'll be bigger than that, so I need to be really good. I'd like to have a nice view, too. You know, I want things to look really nice, and so far I've not spent very much time on making things look nice. Now, I got this exchanger, which is really awesome because I want to make the main room of my bunker where I've been spending all of my time. I think that's going to be my elevator. So I'm going to have an elevator that's going to go different floors, and what I'll do is I'll make it look, you know, really nice. So you will either walk through there to different quads, or you'd go up and down right from there. It'd be a nice meeting place. I really want to have white walls and want to use laboratory blocks. Unfortunately, I only used a few and I'm totally out of quartz. I got to come up with a better quartz deal, and I decided how I want to get it is chicken. So you can actually just make a chicken egg with 8 quartz and an egg, which is easy. So I made that. I'm going to use some seeds to speed it up, and I'm hoping that I can get some quartz from chicken lays. This is my main room. You don't even recognize it. It looks so nice. I mean, look, the laboratory blocks on the walls look so good. I love it. I dug down into the basement, so when you're walking these little throughways, you look down and you see all the other floors, which right now is just one, but eventually it could be more. Yeah, I love this. Well, it's been 90 days since starting this bunker and leaving my desert apocalypse wasteland, and I came down and I made an elevator just like I had planned to, and oh, baby, it is so cool. I love it. I actually went ahead and made a second floor, though I have no plans to expand on that yet, but it's there. These screens, everything, the whole thing. Oh, I love this. Oh, man, this makes me happy. You know, having so many things automated really helps, but one thing that is a little bit trickier is the actual addition stuff, because you have to use this atomic reconstructor, and to do that, I just use a dropper that's dropping on a pressure plate, giving it a signal, and then shooting a beam. It's not so effective, because it can do more than one item at a time, but whatever. Look, I think my nether quartz issue may be over, and I'm mostly excited about that. These chickens are going to be great. It's actually kind of stunningly fast. I mean, they're putting out 3 quartz like every couple seconds. Might actually be too fast. I may have a storage issue soon. Uh-oh. Now, look, I know that the Oracle isn't ready to get me out of here yet, so I put up some screens so I can continue expanding each direction. I'm going to have the living wing, the power wing, the ore smelting or processing wing, and an eventual magic wing. But that's not yet. It's been 100 days now since I came down in this bunker. The whole place is looking really nice, and I have infrastructure laid out for more. I have no idea how long I'm going to be here, but it's going to be a heck of a lot longer than Fred was in his bunker, I'll tell you that. Fred stayed in his bunker for 200 days, and I'm going to be in here for a lot more. So, knowing that, let's make sure we get everything done right. I'm excited about this, and if you are, just wait until you see what happens in the next 100 days.
to your friends, Steve, Tepik, and Edwin.
Oracle, that would be amazing. I'm sure they could use my help defending the world against Cal.
8 million years is a long time, even for me. It will take me some time to consolidate the power to bring you across the centuries.
Oh, okay, I can wait. How much time?
I'm not sure. The two versions of this world are fighting each other. I fear only one timeline can survive.
Oracle, you haven't told me anything about the two timelines diverging. What are the differences?
One has patches of humanity becoming civilized again after the climate catastrophe.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember Hank telling us about the climate catastrophe of his time, but I didn't know it got so bad.
As bad as it was, the other timeline is much worse. There are no humans left, only the undead.